in town just got an emergency alert yesterday telling them to prepare that all of our hospital beds may be turned into um, basically just beds for tons of sick people. And we're also starting to see that people are dying not from
You're live, Jason.
SARS, but also from their central nervous system attacking the heart and creating a heart attack. So, are we live, Ryan?
Yep, we're live.
Okay, guys, let me just cover the trade alert and then we'll answer questions. Very scary time. This type of epidemic, as the WHO calls it, those guys should all be put in jail for life. They're going to kill millions of people with their reckless behavior. They refuse to call this a pandemic. Now they're saying we have epidemics in multiple countries, which is the exact definition. My expectation is that we're going to have to follow the same path as China, which we're now seeing Hong Kong, South Korea, and Japan follow in their steps, which means schools will soon be shut down, transportation will be shut down, lockdowns will begin going into effect. So the pain is not even here yet at all. We have the virus spreading in Africa. That's Bill Gates' worst nightmare, which he's been warning us for better part of a decade. So here's the trade. If you want to hold on to your equities, in our program, we have put options. So we can play the volatility in a very intelligent manner with very low risk. If you're sitting on a bunch of equities positions right now, this may be your last chance to get out without a massive loss. The opportunity to buy downside protection is no longer a bargain deal, it's a ripoff. So buying put options when the VIX is extremely elevated is a complete ripoff to option buyers. So it's just very difficult to be exposed to equities right now because of the cost to have downside protection has skyrocketed. So this makes it very difficult for people to get into the equities markets with confidence, especially professional traders who know all this. So where do you put your money? Well, the safe bet, when you can expect that there will be more shutdowns, more economic slowdowns, a hit to GDP, is to play the bond market, and specifically the single most attractive asset on the planet is the 30-year treasury. There's a limited supply of these, believe it or not, which is only expanding by about $30 billion a month, which is peanuts when you have trillions of dollars fleeing from stocks right now. They don't want to invest in cash. The money is all piling into treasuries. So the TLT gives you the single most attractive and leveraged bond product on the planet that has plenty of room for the central bank to cut interest rates and drive that value higher. So if this goes to zero at the federal funds rate, which I expect will happen very soon, my target is around 170 on the TLT. And this could take anywhere from 3 to 9 months. If this does turn into a global pandemic that causes economies to shut down for weeks or months, potentially until summer, where a heat wave could give us some relief, and causes people like Germany to go back into negative rates, well, then possibly the US could consider going even slightly below zero. And that could potentially give us a target that's even higher than $170 on the TLT. At this point in time, there's extremely low risk of a significant sell-off on the TLT outside of potentially someone like China trying to dump the $1 trillion of treasuries they have in a small amount of time. So that's really the only risk I see entering into the TLT position right now. So just to summarize how we have our clients set up, which has done very well, just to show the returns. I do need to update the put. It's gone down a little bit, but while everyone else is getting creamed, our strategy continues to deliver the nice, safe profits with low risk. So right now, I think once I reduce the put which has lost some of the protection value. We're up around 0.7% in February. That puts us in the 99th percentile of top performing strategies in 2020. And as you can see, we also delivered returns in 2019 during a bull market. So if you want to stop the pain, I highly suggest you pay attention to our trade alerts. Here's how we're playing the market right now. First of all, we like to trade the SPY because it has 3 option expirations per week, which makes it highly defensive and gives you ability to take advantage of the option market 3 times a week. The problem for new people following our program is that the VIX has spiked. So you really don't want to be playing with buying put options when VIX is at near all-time highs. So for our members, we were lucky and we have the 318 put that was in the money when we entered it on Wednesday. And with a little paranoia, we actually bought the expiration on Monday. So this allows us to hold this position through Monday with no risk. On Monday, we'll make a decision on what to do with our SPY position, and we will take a profit on that put. So stay put on that. Step 2, whether you're a new member or an old member, per $30,000 you have exposed to equities. So for our members, it's SPY. If you're new to the program, I'm going to guess you're hanging on to some equities. You don't want to sell it for a loss. You're probably just wondering what on earth is going on. Well, the general recommendation I have for everyone is per $30,000 exposed to equities, add 1 March 20th, 2020 TLT call option with a strike of 157. Okay, so the common questions I'm seeing is what's our total position look like right now? Well, you should still have 100 shares of the SPY protected by the 318 put expiring Monday. That position has not changed. You should still have your 200 shares of the TLT if you're in our Pro program. Now, for those of you on a free trial, this is the time where the Pro program really shines. So the next step is to make sure that you add for every $30,000 you have exposed to the SPY or to equities in general, you want to purchase 1 March 20th, 2020 TLT 157 long call. So let me look at these. Let me look at all the questions piling in so we can answer these. But that's just the most simple way to look at this. Now, if you're asking me if I think you should hold equities in general right now, the answer is no, not unless you're following our SPY system with put option protection. And today's just not a good day to enter a new SPY position. Luckily, our members, once again, are completely protected because we have that in the money put option through Monday. So we can be brave, hold, and have no risk. Okay, let's go through some quick questions.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kathy.
No, it's you left. Hello?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, if I was doing real money, I would be up like over $20,000.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
So I think I've been making mistakes in entering, but yeah, it's that's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're in the 99th percentile of the top performing strategies in the world right now. Nobody saw this coming. We saw it. We could have made more money, but I don't think anyone thought this would roll out and turn into a pandemic this quickly.
Yeah.
So let me go over some of the questions in the chat.
That's nice.
Okay,
yeah.
Tony says, are you still short the TLT puts? Okay, so let's learn how to describe options correctly first, Tony. And this is a good lesson for everyone.
And let's
You
also
only
preface
say
this
short.
as the Pro
You only
program.
want to use the word short if you've sold the put. We did not sell a TLT put, so we are still long the TLT put, and that is correct. So we have already paid most of that off. with the appreciation, and now we're covered in case an attack on our bond market begins. Okay, so that's first question. Good question. But again, if you buy an option, whether it's a call or a put, you're long. If you sell an option, whether it's a call or a put, you're short. So let's just make sure we don't confuse anyone and understand that. Next question. And yes, Tony, yes, we're still long those puts. Right now is a time to be extremely paranoid in all aspects of our portfolio. Okay, next question. Sean says the SPY at 292 is really low price. So Sean, the problem here is it's going to be very difficult for professional investors to build a equity position because they like to do it with downside protection, the exact strategy I teach our members. But they can't pull that off today because the option market has made the cost of a put option absolutely insane. So the really crazy people are out there selling puts today. Luckily, we bought that in the money put on Wednesday when volatility was far lower. So we're covered until Monday. Yes, Sean. So we hold our position and pick up. So if you have 100 shares of the SPY following my trade alerts, you would pick up one March 20th, 2020 TLT 157 call. You got it.
Yep.
Okay. Karen says include cash in any account. So the reason I worded it that way is we probably have people coming in the program who either have cash they want to put to work eventually in equities, or they have that equity position. So I'm assuming that these instructions are telling you to buy one of these TLT puts, or rather call options, per $30,000 you want to put to work in the equity market. So if you already have money working in the equity market, then add one of these per $30,000 at risk. So this is going to provide downside protection for your equities. But even if equities pop, which I think they will because they don't want the whole financial system to collapse this weekend, I still don't think our TLT is going to have very much downside, if any at all. Okay, so, okay, Gary Barber, when you were telling everyone what our current positions are, you didn't mention GDX. Are we still holding? Yes, GDX, we're going to hold for probably 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Without any changes. We've got a huge move coming into gold. So just hang on tight. Murray says long GDX calls. Now, I gave you guys in our boot camp a play on spot silver. So did you take that trade, Murray? That's enough exposure. My expectation is here's how the dominoes fall. Stock market tanks, bond market gets priced to perfection, which means your TLT goes towards 170. And then we're going to see the gigantic jump in other assets. Once the market thinks there's no more money to be made on bonds, that's when I think we're going to see the huge jump in gold. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything outside of what we've already issued here. DD, no, we still have our TLT shares if you're part of our pro program. So right now we have all our pro members in here, obviously, but we also have a lot of people who are just trying to get a feel for what our service has to offer. And unfortunately, if you're brand new, you're not going to have the opportunity to jump into the SPY like our other members did on Wednesday because the protection cost is outrageous today.
Right. So basically, guys, if you're on a trial, okay, that trade alert that we put up here is literally kind of just a free trade alert for you guys to help hedge off the slaughter that's going on in the rest of your account. Okay. And
MHOG has a good question, Dean. Should I buy one TLT even though I'm not long equities? Yes. So just think to yourself, if I have $30,000 I want to put to work with Portfolio Builder following the SPY, we're just waiting to invest that money. And right now, your opportunity is to buy one call option. So if you tell me I've got 30 grand I want to put to work as soon as you give me the trade alert, my response is, okay, hold the 30 grand in cash, wait for the SPY trade alert. And in the meanwhile, this is a great trade.
Right. So yeah, and Mike Hogan, so M Hog is Mike Hogan, Jay.
Okay.
And yeah, he already has, I believe he already has Spy and Yang. So yeah, M Hog. So per $30,000 you have invested, get one of those contracts.
Okay, I got a question from Mark Stoley. Based on your timeline, should we be going further out on the TLT calls? Mark, why you always got to try to outperform my trade alerts? Mark's done very good at analyzing our big picture view and
Hey,
enhancing it
I
a little
asked
bit.
that based on one of your lessons about the time and the distance on options. So I asked that based on what you've taught me.
Yeah, so here's my response, Mark. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday trades go to a group of people who potentially they have to make a decision as to whether we're a good advisory or not in a shorter time frame. You've already bought into all our programs, so you trust me, you're making money. So I'll be more inclined to do longer duration trades on the Tuesday, Thursdays. When I have to help out investors who are just coming into our program, I don't expect them to buy into an option contract that's months out. So I'm not going to argue with you that that's a good idea, but I hope you can understand why I would do today's trade alert for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday crowd, because I need to earn their trust and deliver profits in a shorter time frame.
Yep, sounds good.
And for the rest of us?
So Tuesday, Thursdays, where I'll give you guys, Tuesday, Thursdays are the group of investors who have really committed to our program, many of which have bought lifetime memberships. Half of you guys have bought everything we have, period.
Yeah.
So for more risky, longer duration trades, I'm going to only give those out on Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Right now, this is the play that makes the most sense right now for investors who are coming into this brand new this Friday. And I think we can deliver a big profit on these call options well before the expiration. Okay, Marnie Bixler has a question. If we cannot get over yesterday's high, 95% weak Monday, possibly catastrophic. Yeah, Marnie, I think we're going to have to shut down schools, transportation for a few months until summer comes. The only good news is it looks like the virus is avoiding warmer climate. So we might have a little bit of a reprieve once we get into the summer months. Maybe. So I'm paying close attention to that. But if you look at what's happening in China, and then you can see how they're starting to copycat the same moves China made now in Japan, South Korea, Taiwan. Okay, you know, just watch what they're doing, and that's what you can expect is going to roll out.
Well, you also want to look at Singapore.
And Singapore, yeah.
I mean, Singapore is hot. So I don't know about that thesis, really. I mean, I know that's a traditional flu, but I've never really felt comfortable with that theory because Singapore is hot. You know, so I think it's just.
What's the temperature in Singapore right now, Karen?
Well, I don't know, but it's usually up in the. I mean, it's, you know, it's always hot there. it's always summer there, pretty much. I'll take a look. Hang on.
Yeah. So
It's the same with Iran. They said Iran is hot, so they're throwing the theory out.
It is a
Yeah,
balmy
there's-
81
that's
degrees
why
in
the
Singapore.
TLT is such a good trade right now.
It's balmy 81 degrees in the middle of the night, right? Yeah. What's the planned high in Singapore for 12 hours from now when it's the middle of the day? 90.
91 degrees and rain.
Bingo. Yeah.
Okay, Jose says, what about the buy and hold portfolio? Should I sell my SPY and buy the TLT? I would add the call option on top of the buy and hold and stay put. I'm not. Right now, our buy and hold's down 2.9% with no, you know, just by buying and holding. So compared to being down 15%. So I'm not quite ready to adjust that, but I would definitely add that cheap TLT call right now, Jose, for sure. Okay, great, Garrett. Yeah, Dean will definitely get you in there. And we appreciate that. Okay, Michael, travelers bring in disease. It's just like in Florida Keys. Yeah. Yeah, so you got to realize there are absolutely millions of people who flew through China during the outbreak, and it is spreading. So embrace for impact. That's basically, we're in an airplane, the engines are blown out, and we're on the way to descent. So my job here is to try to help you safely make money. We're not going to try to get rich, but the track record really speaks for itself. What we're good at is safely generating profits. The track record shows it. I've only lost money in 1 month with this team right here. We've only lost investors money 1 month. We're not getting rich, but we are playing the market safe. And when you're not greedy and you have a bit of paranoia, that's how you get results like this. Jim Willis, would you consider buying the GDX? Yes, sir. So I would keep my exposure following the plan. And just to be clear, this is not some plan that I, dreamed up on my own. This is Ray Dalio's strategy. Okay, so he's made investors more money than anyone else on the planet. And he's done it by creating a low volatility, consistent return. Now, he is certainly influenced by China. Not a big fan. We're not. Okay, so, we don't have $20 billion from China. So we have a much more honest view of how to play this market. He's out there pitching people to buy China and to short the dollar. And the exact opposite's happening. And I think that is indeed because he's managing probably $20-30 billion of communist money. But he still remains probably the smartest investor of all time and has the largest hedge fund of all time. So that's what we're basing this off of. But again, we don't have $100 billion to trade. So we can be much smarter than he can and take advantage of options because we have such less capital to protect. Sean, what is that in Fahrenheit? Japan is trying to stop the stock crash. They're selling their treasuries for huge profit. They're selling their gold, and they're trying to influence people to buy stocks because they have a lot to lose. Jim Willis says, you mean fund managers are not objective in their opinions? I'm shocked. Yeah, 99% of every money manager is going to tell you to close your eyes, don't sell, all equities, go, go, go. Okay, so it's 80 degrees in Singapore. Interesting. Yeah,
Hey,
why don't I get a
Jason.
map and look at the virus? So the latest news is that it's not only attacking the lungs and causing you to suffocate with hypoxia, it's also attacking your central nervous system and causing people to just have heart attacks. And that's why we have all this footage coming out of China where people are just suddenly just flopping over dead and shaking. Oh, it's 80 degrees at the middle. Okay, so the other thing is I would be getting here's what I'd be doing if I were you guys. I'd be dumping equities. I'd be following our trade alerts. I'd be getting 4+ weeks of food and water together. I'd be getting all the medications and painkillers you need for at least a couple months. Because if this is correct, everyone is going to be rushing for supplies next week.
Hey, Jason. I just got an alert from a Wall Street Journal article. FDA cites shortage of one drug exposing supply line worry, meaning now the Wall Street Journal's finally starting to talk about how China is the source of most of drugs. So that's bringing it to the forefront for the populace.
Oh man. Yeah. So now we got the mainstream media hopping on the bandwagon.
I mean, where have they been?
Oh, they've been telling us it's not even as bad as the flu.
Yeah,
That's what
where have they been for the last month while we've been talking about it?
Yeah, but I mean, the journal usually is a lot more. They've no, that's just weird. There's something. No.
Bud says, do I buy the TLT? Yes, sir. So if you tell me I've got 30 grand I want to put to work with your program,
At all.
I'm going to tell you, hold that cash. Don't buy the SPY yet. Pick up this call option because we're going to buy the SPY and we're going to trade the hell out of it. There's a lot, the faster assets move, the more money you can make. Timing is critical. Understanding how the option market works is critical. On the left side, so yeah, you don't want to sell the TLT call. You want to buy the TLT call. If you end up selling the TLT call, you're going to lose a ton of money if I'm right. I'll try to get a list out Tuesday to everyone on what I've done to prepare because I saw this pick. So here's how I started picking this up. And it's just so hard to believe. This is something that no one has seen for 100 years. So early in January, our whole thing was emerging markets and the SPY should go up together because this miracle trade deal, which wasn't just what Trump had promised, it was 4 times what Trump had promised. He was telling us we're going to get 40 billion in farm goods, but then all of a sudden we got 200 billion. So you got to ask yourself, how did the Chinese suddenly change their mind? And then this is also supposed to mean that there's going to be $1 trillion a year of financing for the Belt and Road Initiative. So emerging markets should have been screaming higher. And it was for a few weeks. And then right around early January, the Chinese stock market started to tank and nobody knew why. We were on high alert. The dollar was rising. TLT should have been crashing because it was ponies and rainbows, a period of peace. Okay, but none of that happened. Within the first week of January, all of that was going to crap. And so that's when we started picking up on the coronavirus. And at first, it was hard to believe. Is this virus real? Is it going to be really that bad? And the numbers were growing exponentially. And then all of a sudden, China was taking moves to shut down its economy. And these are some of the greediest people on the planet. So they're telling us that 1,000 people had died in January, and that was caused to shut down $1 trillion per month economy. Didn't add up. They did a little digging around. Well, in the US, we had 7,000 flu deaths. If you multiply that by 4.3, the population of China, well, they probably had 30,000 flu deaths in the same period of time. But yet, for the last decade, no economy has been shut down, transportation closed off, people quarantined into their houses. None of that's ever happened from much more deaths from the flu. So now they continue to report these crazy low numbers while they still remain in a lockdown going on for 2 months. So it just didn't add up. And that's what drove my paranoia absolutely crazy, led us to have an extremely defensive position and squeak out a profit in February. But now that all of our suspicions are being confirmed, we can get a little more aggressive. And I do think we can deliver safer profits predicting what's going to happen next. Because now it's not so much a mystery. We have the media starting to jump on the bandwagon. And there's a lot of people who are not going to wake up and realize what's going on. So unfortunately, many people are going to get absolutely wrecked in the next few months. Okay, we got some more questions out there. Does anybody want to have your microphone unmuted to speak? You want to maybe unmute everyone that has their, yeah, if you have your hand raised and you'd like to speak, Ryan will let you speak now. Tony, go ahead. Or Kathy, go ahead.
Questions, but yesterday I had to miss the boot camp. Is that going to be published so I can go back and re-listen to it?
Yes, I'm sorry. I still need to get that out. I was so exhausted yesterday. I haven't done the write-up, but we spent 2 hours teaching our members how to fill out the spreadsheet so that you can track your P&L very, very closely on a daily basis with only a few minutes of effort. So yeah, that will come out. And I apologize. I just got exhausted. I was calling everybody trying to get some inside scoop on what's going on.
No, that's fine. Not important. The other one is I'm using a little bit of the buy and hold strategy in a small account, and very pleasantly happy to see how little that small little, what is it, for every 750, I did 2 of them. My account just isn't down, but minuscule. So pleased with that.
Great. That's great to hear.
The other side of the story is not so good. The one where I actually bought the SPY going for the full program and got busy and accidentally bought the call instead of buying the put.
Oh no.
So I am exposed, and this was the worst time in the world to make a mistake.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So I just have to grin and bear it, and the world will turn around and it'll be better.
And Kathy, definitely add some of those TLT calls. Okay, that's going to help with that as well.
Yeah, I had a credit spread going on TLT, a very profitable credit spread from before the program. So I closed it out and I just bought 10 in 2 different accounts. So, because I had the money freed up from the other. So until it's time to buy the TLT, I've got the calls.
Right. Yeah.
The time is now, Kathy. So a lot of people try to time the trading system. That's not the right attitude. The strategy is build the full recommended portfolio and let it work its magic.
I was just trying to close out different positions so I had the cash to do it.
Sure, but we've been talking, every week. You've been waiting to buy the TLT, and what has it done every week? And I'm really sorry you missed that put. That's a really unfortunate. Okay, so I got a question from Sue L. So you recommend to sell all equities, wait to rebound, then sell, or I think they're saying which one? Okay, so Sue L, let me ask you this. Have you followed our SPY trade so far on Wednesday with the protective put underneath the SPY? Okay, so let's unmute SOUL, Ryan. And if you have a microphone, let's try to help you out here. Murray, the 313T, what is that? Okay, Sue, go ahead and tell me what's going on. Have you been following our program? Do you just have your own equities that are getting hurt? What's going on?
Yeah, I have my own equities. So I'm just wondering, do you recommend a sale of them or wait until rebound?
I would get the hell out of Dodge. Our members are playing the equity market far different than you are. Okay, so you're just long equities and you're getting punished for that. And to buy downside protection today is outrageous. So me personally, I would not hold equities without downside protection over the weekend.
Right. And
the risk is that it could crash significantly more and it won't rebound anytime soon.
Right.
So certainly I would wait for our SPY trade alert next week to start playing equities because it's going to come with downside protection when we have that opportunity. Meanwhile, this trade alert right here is a good play.
Yeah, and
Totally
to
up to you
caveat
what you
that,
do with your equities, but that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, and to caveat that, right? So you want to think about your timelines, right? So if you bought bought new equities within the past 6 months, right? But if you've had them for 10 years and they're up 1,000%, probably don't want to let go of them there. But yeah, I'd say if you have fresh exposure, at least
Okay.
within the last 6 months, yeah.
Yes, Mary, we still have our protective put. And that is, again, that put is in case China is really attacking the United States. The next thing I would see them doing, assuming that this is an attack, not saying it is, but if they were, the next move they would make would be to dump $1 trillion of treasuries into the market as fast as possible and get all of their allies to do the same move. So that's why for our pro members who have we have half our capital, 40% of all cash is invested in the TLT. So that put provides that downside protection. That would be an absolute act of war if China did that. So that is a very paranoid put. But once again, it just shows you how safe we are.
Right. And just to preface this one more time, guys, this is specifically for the pro portfolio. Okay. That's where the question came from. So just want to clarify, things that we're doing on the SPY, things we're doing on the pro, but also want to preference that we actually have a really awesome deal for you guys today for the pro portfolio. We're labeling it the stock crash special. So definitely an awesome deal, guys. That's only going to be available today, and we'll post that once the presentation's done. Okay.
Hey, hi, Jason. I have a second part of question. So if I have sell all the equities, how do I still buy the TLT or just buy the call?
So Sue, let me ask you this. How much capital do you want to follow with our program? Is it more or less than $75,000?
About maybe 100,000.
Okay, so if you wanted to follow our full system, our strategy puts 100 shares into the SPY and 200 shares into the TLT. Okay, so that's the bulk of your portfolio. That alone will cost $60,000 to follow. And so if you did want to follow the full system, then you would want to follow the trade alerts the day they're issued. So the only action I would do if I were you and I was intending to follow our full program, I would be listening to the advice, which is basically get out of equities, 1. 2, per 30,000. So this is what's important. If you're telling me you've got 75,000 to invest, 30,000 of that in our pro program would be dedicated to equities. So you would be buying 1 TLT call option.
Okay.
Okay. The other half of your money would be buying the ETF itself. Now in our free trial, we're only giving away the Monday, Wednesday, Friday trade alerts. So if you do want to upgrade, we have a special deal. Dean can call you and we can get you yesterday's trade alert, which would tell you what to do with the rest of your capital. Okay.
So buy 200 share of TLT and then 1 call option.
Yeah, so we don't support the pro program during the Monday, Wednesday, Friday free trial client. So if you want to follow the Thursday pro program, you'd want to upgrade and talk to Dean. So if you're just going to do the free trial, are you a member of free trial?
Free trial.
Okay, so free trial, real simple. Buy 1 call option on the TLT and get the hell out of equities. That's what I would do. If you do want to get to our pro program, then have Dean call you and you can get the full instructions. Okay? Because I don't want to confuse people who are just getting started.
Right.
Here. If you're just getting started, it's
call.
really simple. Buy a TLT call. Because I'm trying to get you quick results with low risk.
Yeah. So
without owning the TLT.
Sure. So
correct.
Yeah. And Sue, so let's say you have $200,000 invested in your account. Per 30,000, you're going to add 1 option contract, right? So that would, be about 7 option contracts. Let's say you had 210,000 bucks. You would add 7 of those TLT option contracts just to help
Okay.
protect the rest of your portfolio that you already have, right?
Okay.
But awesome. And you know what, Jason, what I was going to say too is at the end of the webinar, we'll have everyone just raise their hand that wants access to today's special that's not a member yet, and we'll actually just post it directly to them. Okay. And it's just my phone's been ringing off the hook, so I think that might be one of the better ways to do it.
Okay, I got a question from Tony. On your EEM puts, are you calibrating that position with the stock value represented by the puts? So Tony, let's be really clear. We told you guys to sell your EEM shares and to, the headline was short as hell Asia. And we told you to sell your EEM ETF and to buy that put, which is up a lot today. So is that what you did, I hope?
Hey, Tony, your microphone is unmuted, but if you want to go ahead and feel free to speak freely.
And Ryan Perry has a question if you want to unmute Perry. George, Bob, and Murray all have their hands raised as well. Hey, Perry, how's it going, bud?
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Doing great.
Yeah,
How's that, so Perry's in the boot camp. How's your spreadsheet going? You have a chance to start at that or not yet?
I have not started. Y'all did send me I had to send you my correct email, Google email. So I got that last night. So it did come in.
Okay, good.
But I hadn't had a chance to look at it today. I'm trying to finish up some stuff. And yeah, my question is, I got called out of the SPY. So I just bought 10 of the TLT options, the trade alert.
Good.
My question though was on like the gold. Are you including just the equities, which would be like the SPX or SPY? Or are you also including the gold, the total amount that I've allocated for the program as far as
Good
every
question.
$30,000?
Yeah, Perry. So let's just base it on how many 100 shares of the SPY you used to have. So you're in cash on your SPY position.
Right.
You missed the put, right?
Yep.
Okay, so good. So just wait till Monday for instructions on how to get back into the SPY.
Okay.
One, and then two, if you had, how many 100 shares of the SPY did you have previously?
I had 300, but I've been liquidating a business, so I've added a good bit more cash to my account. So I was looking at maybe increasing some of that.
Okay, so if you tell me you're going to put 300 grand into the SPY, I'd say buy 10 of these today.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir. Very good question.
So it really, we're just basing the TLT trade on the equities, which means just the SPY, not the gold and not the
yeah, let me kind of
TLT.
translate what this trade alert means in terms of my prediction. So I'm basically telling you, I think there's a high risk of a slowdown in the economy. Okay, no duh. And that means that the stock market could crash. But because the volatility is so extreme, it's an outrageous idea to buy put options today.
Yes.
But instead, if you're smart and you understand how the financial system works, there's no volatility in the TLT. So option pricing on the TLT is extremely cheap. So we can bet down on the equity market in a nearly risk-free manner by purchasing call options on the treasury market.
Yep, exactly. And great questions, Perry. I'm proud of you. Those were really good.
And I'm liquidating a lot of I've got another account and I'm just liquidating, pretty much all the positions. I just tried to start stepping into some things, and before all my profit on that's gone, I'm just liquidating it and going to go back to cash in that, just to raise a little bit of capital in case things really do get ugly.
And they might. Okay, M Hog, would it be unwise to add an extra SPY put? Yes, because it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. Yeah, follow the trade alerts, guys. So often people want to try to manipulate the trade and do this or that and guess this and that. These are very carefully chosen trade alerts. Now think about it. If you guys go blow a trade and lose some money, you can go cry about it all on your own. Maybe your wife will get upset with you if she looks, but other than that, you know, you can go lose money all day and no one's going to give you a hard time about it except yourself. I have to present this to a huge audience every single day. So that forces me to be extremely careful about what I publish. So I'm very slow to make moves, and it's a very well thought out trade alert every single time. So don't try to second guess the alerts unless you're an expert trader. So for example, Mark Stoley has decades of experience, and he can understand what I'm recommending and enhance it all on his own, like he just did in today's comment. So unless you are a very advanced trader, I wouldn't mess with the trade alerts whatsoever. Follow it down to the T. Don't second guess which asset's going to perform. Use the full program because it works and the track record speaks for itself. Murray, you want to get Murray unmuted, Ryan? Who else has a question? Raise your hand. We have so many people on here. If you hit the raise hand button, we'll open you up. Oh, Jerry, is that Jerry Simone?
Hey, how's it going?
There. Hey, we haven't seen you in here in a while.
Yeah, I've been kind of checking you out. You always have some great information, so I like that.
Jerry's been predicting a crash for a better part of a year, haven't you?
Yeah.
Finally got it. Did you make some money on it?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
My thing is why do you think the metals are going down as a market?
Japan is selling gold and bonds and trying to protect its stock position.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Japan is selling gold and bonds to try to help protect their equity position right now. And they're the single largest holder of pretty much every asset.
I see. Okay.
So
Yeah, 'cause it's been
short term,
shocking.
what's going to happen next? Rate cuts and more QE than you've ever seen in your lifetime. So that's good for gold. Not worried about our gold.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing just watching the metals drop like they are.
Yeah, pure manipulation from Japan.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And a lot of times hedge funds will use that as a hedge if they're getting annihilated in a long too, Jerry. So some of that will be from those guys getting margin calls and puking out their gold that they're trying to hedge with. So.
Oh, I see.
Hey, Jason, this is Ron. I just wanted to echo your comment. I'm an experienced trader. I've given that up. I just follow what you're saying and it's working. So I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Ron. I appreciate hearing that. Oh, Murray's got his mic open. How's it going, Murray?
Well, good. I just put a lot more into the TLT and the two options.
Very good.
So I am overweighted TLT versus the SPY right now, but that may be just temporary.
Well, that's a good play right now. That's the safest place to put your money.
And I got a bunch of miscellaneous stocks to sell to try to further enhance this position.
Very good. Well, I'm glad we got the full portfolio protected now. So now you're in control.
I feel better.
Yeah, I bet. How much did the last manager lose before you were able to get control over the wheel there?
About 600.
Oh, shoot. I think your audio broke out.
Oh, I mean, that's how much I invested with it. He didn't lose anything, but I lost most of what I had made.
Oh, gotcha. The profits were wiped off. Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but I call that a loss. Okay, Tony, you still have your hand raised and your microphone's open. You have a question?
I was just on your puts, like your EEM puts, you calibrating the value of that against the ratio. I think it's 10% of the program in the EEM and 10% in gold, and then split it out between the TLT and the.
You know what, Tony? Your audio is so low, I can't hear you, unfortunately.
Can you hear me now?
Nope, still really soft.
Okay. Maybe I get it. Okay. What I was saying is, I don't know if you can hear me now.
Hey, Tony, maybe try moving your mouth closer to your speaker.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
yep.
And
Also in audio settings, you can go and put a gain on your mic.
Scotty says, I'm doing great where I'm following Portfolio Builder, but my speculation trades not so much. Well, I'm sorry, Scotty. What kind of speculative trades you put out there?
Yeah, give me a call and get through them in this webinar.
I felt, hey, Jason and Dean, I had FOMO on Tesla as it was crashing. So I tried a little bit of that.
Oh, no.
Got out. This is just on a personal thing, but I bought Smile Club Direct because I ordered it for my wife, and then they had negative earnings and crashed 20%. On and on. I just a few little things here that I thought was a good idea at the wrong time.
Well, sorry to hear that. Hopefully we'll make it back up in this coming months with the PB trade alerts.
Loving the PB trade alerts, and I just keep telling myself if I would have just had all my capital in the program, I'd be so much better off. Just can't get that little speculation bug out of me just yet.
It's addicting. I know how it goes. So hopefully, for me, I like to be not 100% sure, more like 300% sure before I'll get speculative. And I'm starting, I think I'm at 200% sure right now. I'll try to get us a little more aggressive trades out there so that we can, because I know that's a common thing is people want to try to get some big gains in there.
Yeah.
So it's just so hard to get the timing down. I saw this crash coming from a mile away. We squeaked out a little profit. Okay. But even while seeing it and tracking this day by day, it was still hard to catch. So
Better
I'll do my
being down
best.
25.
Yeah. Not getting killed right now is pretty good. So
yeah, exactly.
Having the peace of mind of these calls and knowing that you give us commentary and then we have this call just makes, even though I've got some of these other things I did on the side, the bigger picture of where I am with the larger amount of my wealth and my 401k and that type of thing, this really adds a lot of peace of mind.
I'd have to agree exactly with that too. I second that.
I'll third that.
Let's see. Maybe Jerry's got another question. Tony, try using the chat box just because we can't hear your audio. I think you had a really good question. I just couldn't hear you.
No, I just forgot to lower my hand, buddy. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. Looks like Perry has a new question or a comment.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I also meant to ask I'm just trying to catch my account up from being out of town. You had issued that SLV trade. Is that still good to get into now, or?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it should be better, I would think, because I think it's pulled back a hair.
Yeah, it is better now. There's your speculative trade for a big gain. That's part of the boot camp. So yeah, that's a long hold. My expectation is, again, bond market gets perfectly priced first, then your metal market catches up. And that one, we're going for 1,000% return. So if you want to go for a speculation, that's the trade we give you guys that I'm highly confident in.
Okay.
So if we get a $12 push on SLV, that returns 1,000%. If we get the kind of run up we had in the 08, 09 QE period, and we get a $22 run up on SLV, that returns 10,000%. So that's a bonus trade for our boot camp.
Hey, Jason, we've had such a huge drop. You still think there's a lot more to go then, right?
Oh, Ron, a real crash is in the magnitude of 50 to 70%.
Heavenly days. Wow.
So the problem is, as long as volatility remains high, smart investors won't touch stocks with a stick because they cannot buy protection.
Right.
So until that volatility drops down, you're not going to find smart investors buying equities. So that's just kind of the bottom line on that. Now, is there ways to take advantage of high volatility? Yes. And it involves selling puts that are way out of the money. So that if we come to Monday and the VIX is above 35, maybe above 50, who knows? Maybe even above 70 if we get a big drop. The strategy we want to play is to sell very far out of the money puts protected with a even further output, and also protect that with TLT call options. So guess what I already put you into play with today?
Yeah.
Put you into play on that TLT call so that we're positioned to do that SPY trade on Monday.
Yeah. And just real quick, just on that too, guys, you got to realize that the U.S. economy is literally based on 70% consumer spending, right? I mean, think about that for a second. Right? That's probably going to slow down in this environment. But yeah, I was reading through that last night, Jason, and you know, I thought about it more and more. I was like, well, that's certainly going to slow over the next quarter. So.
Oh, I got a hilarious one from the long view. New crisis indicator when the VIX is greater than the price of oil. Holy cow, that's hilarious. Yeah, so the VIX is over the price of oil right now. So that means bad things for equity markets. My hope is we get the VIX to spike to maybe 70 come Monday and have a massive drop. And I'm going to get you guys selling put options that are so lucrative, you wouldn't believe it. So that's how we'll play a high volatility market. My fear is that we're going to see an even bigger drop over the weekend. That's why we didn't pull the trigger today.
Yep, margin call Monday. Yeah, Marnie was actually commenting about that as well. Hey, Tony.
Let's see. Tony's got a question. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, can you hear me now? I'm on a different computer.
Oh, yes, that sounds great.
Yeah, good. Hey, no, I was just on the, as for instance, the EEM or the TLT or whatever, on your puts, on your EEM, are you calibrating the value of the put against your portfolio value, or are you going in between the, so 10% of your portfolio would be equal to the EEM puts, but you wouldn't put 10% of you wouldn't buy 10%. Wouldn't spend 10% of your portfolio just to buy those puts, would you?
No. Yeah, great question.
Great question.
So yeah, so we take the, our trade alert on Thursday was to not own the EEM, which would normally be approximately 10% of the portfolio. But you're right. So based on how many shares of emerging markets we would normally have, to only own the put. So if you, let's say you had 100 shares of the SPY, value of $30,000.
Right.
And then you had 200 shares of emerging markets, normally value of $8,000. So our trade was to sell EEM and buy 2 put options.
Okay. Well, I was short the EEM this morning, and of course I closed that one up. I tried to close it last night, but for some reason I couldn't get filled. I figured that out. And if you guys try to close things at night, I'll let you know. You have to put your order in as an extended hour order. And if you do good to cancel or something like that, it won't fill until the market opens.
Yep. Yep. Exactly, Tony. I remember learning that for the first time
Yeah, I
about
had
a
learned.
decade ago. Yeah.
So, but with that information, then, so let's say if you have say $8,000 worth of what we call notional value, is that right? The right word in the puts that
So yeah, so no, we have, so on that part of your portfolio, you should have 8,000 in cash. And then you have 2 puts, which you just paid a debit to own.
and the puts would be worth about $40 a piece or something like that. I don't know.
Let me pull up where we're at on that position here.
I mean, the same question goes for the TLT too, you know, but it's just to clarify.
So TLT, are you following the pro program or?
No, I think Tony's on just the SPY.
I'm just on the SPY, but you know, I trade the TLT pretty regular, and and I hadn't done the EEM until I saw your information on it. So
okay, yeah. So if you're only following the SPY, I wouldn't be trying to read between the lines with what you hear on the webinar, because you're not going to get the trade alerts on that. But if you do want to go to the pro program, I only touch those positions on Thursday, but I'll just show you where we're at on that right now.
I started on that when I was under the.
We bought the 42 put on the 20th, and it's gone from 80 cents, and this was this morning, to 355 for a 343% gain. And I'm still holding that position.
Yeah. Well, I had similar results on that, but I picked up on that when we were having the open house or the free trial or whatever on the whole thing.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I was following them. And,
so yeah, if you do want to follow how I play the underlying asset. Okay, Andy's saying,
right.
Can you list out the portfolio? Yeah, so we played really just four assets.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the SPY, EEM, which is in cash with a put. Okay, so that kind of sums up how we have the assets. Let me zoom in on this. So I can see how there's some confusion. We found that it's a lot easier for new people to come in and just follow this program to gain trust in our system and our ability to generate profit. So most of you guys who are on a free trial, you're only going to get the trades that are related to this. This one also has a bonus TLT call option. Okay. So if you're just following us on a free trial, this is all you need to worry about right here. We're trading the SPY with a protected put, and we got a long TLT call. And it will do its job all on its own. You can make plenty of money if that's all you ever follow. Now, if you have a larger account and you want more protection and a more complex portfolio, which most of our members end up wanting, that's what we call the pro program. So I'm trading these 3 portfolios only on Thursday. I won't touch it outside of Thursday unless it's an absolute crisis emergency. But I also designed the trades so that you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so if you want to follow the full program, you want to go with the pro system. We trade these 3 portfolios on Thursday, and we trade this portfolio Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep, exactly. And then just to add to that, Jason, what we do also, folks, is we use options, okay, to typically protect those assets more than anything, right? The 4 asset classes you see up on the screen. But from time to time, we will use options to generate a little alpha. Doesn't happen much, but typically we're going to use options to protect that portfolio and literally just make it atomic bomb proof to where you're just never really going to get seriously hurt. So instead of, just being net long in 2020 and you're down, let's say, you own a basket of tech stocks, and you're down 25%. Instead of that, you have a small profit for the year, but it's just so nice. And, if you're trading over $300,000, it's just so smart to just give your money the protection it deserves, right? We still did just shy of the portfolio, did just shy of 14% last year, or 15%. I'm sorry, it was 14.83%. Okay. If you have a lot of capital, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. And it's so nice to literally see the market crash. And I do this with my IRA, right? So I watch my IRA lift in the situation. I look over at my cash account is, down $60,000 at a point this week, right? So it's really cool, guys. You just won't have to worry about the anomalies in the market that happen. Okay. And because of the way we allocate the asset classes and how we protect everything with the options, we're never going to make as much as the market when it's just a crazy up year like we had in 2019. Okay. But instead of having, 7% drops, we smooth that out, guys. Biggest drawdown period in the pro portfolio is 1%. Okay. And I don't care who your money manager is, they're absolutely not delivering that for you. Okay. Trust me, I've done thousands of calls with investors, and there's really nothing that's going to give you that much safety. That's not, some type of ultra safe mutual fund that's going to charge you to be in it. Okay. And then just, it's going to hand you a 4% performance at the end of the year. It's just, it's paltry. It's not going to hedge off inflation. So.
Okay, Bud has a question. How do I get out of, so you're talking about the long call option, right? So on a long call, we're going to buy to open and then sell to close. Now, what I have up here is how much money it costs to follow each portfolio we offer. So if you want to keep your life simple and you only have $30,000, why is this stuck on here? That's weird. Good old Windows. Okay, if you only have $30,000, best bet is to just follow the SPY program. It's designed to protect capital and make money in all market conditions. Now, that doesn't mean we'll win every single month, but it does mean that it is a system that does its own job without needing the other assets. If you have more than $30,000 and you want a more sophisticated portfolio, then I would recommend following the full system. So we trade emerging markets, GDX, gold market, and the bond market on Thursday exclusively. So we found that new people coming in are best off just starting with the SPY program, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then once you get comfortable and understand what we're doing, then add in the rest of the strategies if you have enough capital. So you really need about $75,000 to really follow the program. Yeah, no, Ryan, something about my keyboard's locked in, so I'll just leave it like that.
Hey, and John, thank you for the message. Yeah, I will send you that discount link. And we will send that out to you guys if at the end of the program, what we'll do is we'll have you just raise your hands and we'll send you that discount link.
Let's get some more questions, guys. Okay, call your broker, Bud, and tell him you want, tell him the trade you're trying to do and ask him to get you approved.
Yeah, it's, and I tell people this all the time, but I really think, guys, the whole thing with the brokers trying to eliminate, any investor from trying to trade options is simply Wall Street's way of trying to, keep you with the advisor, keep you, at paltry returns. But yes, so bud, just reach out to your broker. Okay. And just ask them for options approval. They're going to ask you if you have previous experience. Okay. But yeah, you just got to reach out to them. And like I said, guys, the only reason why that restriction is in there and you have to get the approval is so, a thing that Wall Street does to try to keep the little guy little. So absolutely get that options approval. It's critical for your success.
Okay, Jim says why? Okay, GLD, if you're lucky, will double in the next 2 years. GDX will quadruple. That's why, Jim. So GLD is going to go up first. Let them have at it. GDX will follow and go up far at a much faster acceleration. But again, here's the dominoes falling. Bond market gets priced to perfection. Then spot gold gets priced to perfection. Then gold miners skyrocket up. So we found that it's very difficult to change the underlying asset and have our clients accurately follow it. So that puts me in a position where I don't change underlying assets so that we all have the exact same results. So in the long run, GDX is much more beneficial than GLD. So that's your bottom line. So yeah, GLD is going to go, if GLD is going up, that's great for GDX. Just be patient. The gold miners can pull the old barbellic out of the ground for just under $1,000 an ounce. Okay, so spot gold, if it's over 1,500, they're making a lot of profit. So you just got to be patient and let them start selling that and generating profits. The longer gold is elevated, the more profitable gold miners become. And so my prediction is rates go to zero, massive QE comes in, and people who have invested in gold miners do very, very well. But yeah, I mean, if I was a more active trader and we didn't find that people miss trade alerts and they mess up, sure, I might be trying to chase spot gold a little higher and then jumping into gold miners. But again, we're not being greedy. Our goal with this program is to design an advisory that actually works for clients. How many advisories have you bought where you don't get the same result as the guru? Okay, so I will never change our underlying assets. This prevents 99% of the miscommunication between the client and the advisor. So that's the core reason why I don't change the underlying asset. So as long as we're not super greedy and we're patient and we can look at the big picture, this portfolio performs extremely well with low volatility. Okay, Mark says, are you worried about how much the shares of GDX and GLD are rehypothecated? Oh boy, that's a word. I don't know what that word is. Oversold. No, Mark. So here's what I think is going to happen. Okay, economic slowdown. That's the key here. Economic slowdown. Why? Well, China's shut down. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, shutting down. Africa has a virus now spreading and they're completely underprepared. So what's going to happen next? Okay, GDP crashes. How do central banks deal with economic slowdown? First, they cut interest rates. So the most dead obvious investment right now is that the TLT goes up because they're cutting out. They're going to cut the rates to zero. So bond market's going to go up first. What comes next? Quantitative easing. They're going to have to start buying up those bonds so that the bond market doesn't crash. That's when I expect us to realize the massive profits in GDX. So from my perspective, gold miners are a great investment. They're trading at a very low price. and they're going to probably quadruple in the next 2 years.
Yep, and great question. And guys, just put GDX on a 10-year chart. That'll give you your answer too.
Yeah, look at what happened when we did QE from 2009 through 2011. Okay,
That's
so we're
even
trying
better.
to front run that. You know, I want to be the early bird who gets the worm. And so, yeah, so of all the positions, that's the one I see us holding the longest. Yeah, Tony, Dean will take care of you. Let him give you a call after here and he'll take care of you, okay? So yeah, so you know, we could try to time every market and be jumping from one asset to another. But you guys are going to get so lost and confused that many of you won't get the same results I do. So we're playing this in a very smart strategy that's extremely safe. You can count on these assets being our underlying assets, and we manage the risk with the option market. So we're not trying to be greedy. We're trying to make consistent, safe returns.
Okay, what other questions do we have out there? Let's see here. Nancy, I think this is the first time I've seen in here. Please feel free to unmute your microphone. Let's see here. Alier, Andy, Anna Vesey, Bob, Bud, and Bud, thank you for that interaction. Clay T, I believe it's the first time I've seen you in here. Welcome and thank you for joining us. See here, Florence, thank you for joining us here today. George Lewis, Guibo, anyone else? Bud, yes, we do live in Albuquerque. Yep, you got that right. Let's see here. Okay, Ken, any other questions out there, guys? And Sue, did we answer all of your questions with as much clarity as you'd like? Okay, and hey, Jason, do you want to go over real quick just the options that are available to him as an investor? I think that's one thing we haven't really done in the past, and it's probably worth doing.
Yeah, like the options page?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's something going on, maybe a numlock. There it is.
Yeah, and then maybe show him the boot camp as well after we scroll through that.
Sure. Okay, so this is our normal sales page with all the retail prices. Our buy and hold portfolio, which has no option protection, sells for $9.97 a year. That's good for investors who have less than $30,000 and who want a very passive hands-free strategy, but it's just not going to be as adaptive and advanced as our other programs. We have the SPY program, which is really good. If you have 30 grand that you want to put to work, you don't want to have the sophistication of layering on the bond market and the gold market. This is a great program that sells for $19.97 a year. And again, it just trades Monday, Wednesday, Friday, exclusively the SPY. But today we did add the TLT call option for this position because the TLT and SPY are highly correlated. This one won't buy the TLT, but what it will do is trade the SPY with put option protection. It'll sell call options for income. And when there's just no other way to do it, it will use the TLT call option to get extra downside protection. So that's what we have in option 2. And if you do go to the sales page, you can chat with Dean as well. Our pro level program is $5,000 a year. That's what most of our members end up in if they have over 75,000 to invest. If you don't have 75,000 to invest, it does not make sense to buy this program because you don't have enough capital to build our full strategy.
Yeah. And typically, guys, our customers that are using that have anywhere from 300,000 to up to 4 million, in excess of 4 million.
Yeah. But if you have 75, you can build the full system and follow it. And then the last program we have is our boot camp. This is where I give you extremely speculative plays on top of a world-class financial education. And Mark, are you still on? He might have hopped off. Let's see, who's in the boot camp right now that's still on the line?
Oh, and Bud, yes, we do live in Albuquerque. Are you in Albuquerque as well, Bud?
Oh,
Okay,
Perry, let's open the mic for Perry.
Hey,
Perry,
this is
can you
Mark.
give the audience your open opinion on our boot camp?
Yeah, I've just started in, I think the end of January and was out of town a good bit of February, but I'm just really impressed. Today I just went ahead and liquidated pretty much everything. And waiting on this pullback. I've just been impressed in how the market has just taken a beating and the, this portfolio has just held up very, very well. And of course, you were showing a 1% gain. So it's just been really, really good, very informative. I've learned a lot about the actual, the way the bonds and the stocks correlate together. So I've just been really, really impressed with it and look forward to being able to allocate a lot more capital to it. So I'm convinced that it's kind of where I want to park my money.
Very good. Well, thank you, Perry.
Yep.
Oh, Mark. Okay, so Mark, I would love to have, so Mark's already an advanced trader. He's proven that by taking our macro views and enhancing the returns. But what would you say about the boot camp so far, Mark?
Absolutely worth it. I have learned a lot. I had no idea the financial systems work the way they did. You hear these terms on TV and different market updates, and you really don't know how they go together. And now I'm starting to get it. And even though I'm starting to get it, I can't even explain it to anybody because it's so complicated, so convoluted. But I am starting to get it. Maybe when I fully get it, then I can actually explain it to someone else. But I'm starting to get it, and I am able to take some different moves based on that. And boy, if I had just been better positioned, I would have made an absolute killing this week. I had a really great short position on some additional XL position, the sectors within the SPY. And I had some puts, and I thought, oh, the market's done. I don't want to give up my profit. So I got out, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. I'd be making a fortune if I'd held on, but I'd have made a profit this week. And, mostly because the main part of my money is following this main program. And then, a couple other things like the HSBC, that was a nice little trade in the boot camp. And, but I have two people that are close to me that they have shared with me what's happened to their portfolio this week. One of them lost 300,000 and another one lost 150,000.
Yep.
And I made money this week.
Yeah. And hey, Mark, if you want to send them a referral to us too, if they do end up becoming a client, we will send you an Amazon gift card. And that goes for all of our clients, guys. If you do, know family members or close friends that need some help, send them over to me. Okay. Just, give them my contact information, have them email me, whatever's best. I'll get in contact with them. If they do end up becoming a customer, we're happy to, thank you and get you a really nice Amazon gift card for doing that. So really appreciate that. Mark, if they are, just kind of at a point where they want to switch up what they're doing, we'd love to help them out.
Yeah, and my wife thinks I'm being crazy this week because I went on a shopping spree and started loading up the pantry, the fridge, the freezer, the closet full of extra stuff, and she's like, oh, more bomb shelter food. And then I'm like, look, the market just crashed bigger than shit this week, like nothing before. And she's like, okay, maybe you're not all that crazy.
Nope, our TLT position's already making money if you took it, guys. SPY is about to crack 290. Woo! It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Just getting started, TJ. Just getting started. Margin Call Monday will be really fun.
So what do you think is the likelihood that the banks or the Fed or the central banks are going to try to do a coordinated rescue on Sunday?
Great
And
question.
I saw an article about that. And I haven't read the article yet. It's on Zero Hedge. I've been following Zero Hedge. I never even knew who that was before, and now I follow that every single day because I know that's one of your sources. And boy, I can't believe the information on there. It's quite amazing.
It's so hard. What I could tell you is I know how to use the option market to take advantage of the equity market. And so yeah, I think it was a good decision today to just not do anything. We've got that in the money put, so we're set to jet. The obvious trade today is to buy that TLT call. So with everything, I'm very, very confident with how we're positioned. And again, as you know, I try to make as few moves as possible to get the other player into checkmate. Okay, so I feel like we're one move from checkmate and we're doing really well here. And we did it with, what we've done this year is kind of like putting the other player in checkmate in like 7 moves. So we're doing extremely well with very, very little work. So you can't beat that.
Yeah, I know my friend that lost the 300, I did forward your day's trade alert saying, look, this is the kind of information they're giving you. You should at least do this for cheap insurance. And so I think he is going to do that TLT trade because he's got a lot exposed to equities.
So a lot of people got, they got like 6 screens. They've got all kinds of crazy shit going on. They don't know what the hell's happening. Meanwhile, we're printing money with like 2 minutes of work a week. So simplicity is really what this program's all about. We don't need 50 positions. We don't need 6 screens. We don't need, some crazy platform. All we need is this very simple 4 ETF portfolio and a small amount of option trading, and we can deliver the goods.
Yep, simplicity. It's so wonderful. And Jason, I have to say that's one thing you've actually taught me too. It's so nice to literally just to look at the financial system, right? Kind of as layer 1, layer 2. Look at macro obviously, but it's so nice, guys, not to try to read through 25 quarterly filings, right, to keep up with your positions. It's great to just reduce your workload. And we want you guys to enjoy your retirement, right? Literally, I was talking to someone the other day that was literally out fishing and said he'd just been on his trade and he caught a couple of fish and he was catching some fish in the market too, is what he's told me. So just kind of neat. And I actually do use my cell phone probably, 85% of the time to replicate the trades. Mark, Perry, are you guys using your cell phones predominantly at this point to replicate?
Depends on where I am. If I'm out and about, I definitely will use my cell phone. If I'm at home, I'm probably got the screens up and I'll use the screens on Thinkorswim. Nice. I can do it either way. I'm comfortable on both platforms.
Nice, Mark.
Yeah, I'll use. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Perry, sounds good.
Yeah, I use both platforms. I mean, if I'm at home, I'll use my desktop, but I thought it was funny. Last week I was out in Steamboat Springs skiing, and up at the top of the mountain, I said, I gave my poles to my kid and I said, here, hold my poles so I can make my trade. So I was 11,000 feet up in the air, snow skiing, making my trade. So that was pretty sweet.
Nice, Perry. I love it. How was the snow, by the way?
No, it got pounded. It was the best conditions I've ever seen.
Awesome. I love it. Nice. Okay. Any people out there on trials that have questions, and guys, you please feel free to interact with our client base too, right? I'm sure they'll be happy to answer questions for you. Literally just jump in, guys. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Okay. Please just ask away. Definitely a record group in here today. So we look forward to helping all of you protect your capital and just really kind of put it in the safest manner and structure that we've ever found. And just, like these guys are saying, you can do this literally from anywhere in the world. And it'll take you, it took me 8.5 hours last year as far as the work went on the trading. And, not bad for how much I was able to grow the account. Let's see here. Okay.
Hey, Dean and Jason, just proof that everybody's losing money except for y'all. I just looked at Market Watch, their big headline. These are the only 7 stocks in the S&P 500 that have risen as the markets have plunged. So unless you own those 7 stocks, you're down.
Yeah. I was talking to literally, Mark, everyone I talked to that wasn't a member this week was, down anywhere from 10 to, I think the worst person I talked to was down 28% already for the year. Just crazy. We're barely 2 months in, and I mean, that's an insane loss for that short of time period. And, I've been there previously, so I know how it goes. Okay. Let's see here. Sue, any other questions there? And hey, just real quick, how many of the trial people put on that TLT trade to hedge off some of the bleeding that you have in your portfolio right now? Okay,
yeah,
John.
How much is that trade up so far? Anybody know? John, let's see. Let me get this. If you want a call from us after the webinar is over to get you signed up today and to take advantage of a discount we have, please show by raising your hand so we can see who we should give a call after. And for John, if you've never traded before, we are giving a 30-day bonus free in the boot camp. The boot camp's where I teach you options. Okay, it's not, stop day trading. That's a bad idea. We don't want to day trade. That's for computers. We got to outthink the computer. So You're not going to do it by being faster.
Nice, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, and John, I saw some stats from Schwab. One of my good friends used to be a VP over there. And so he could basically see into all of these different people that were retail traders that were trying to day trade. And I'll just tell you this, over 80% of them either lost 90% of their account or blew out the account within 5 years. Okay. But yeah, Jason, great point. Day trading's for computers, guys. I mean, if you really think you're going to beat a computer that you had 200 of the smartest mathematical and computer science people in the world work on, good luck. And, it might work once or twice, but in the long run, that amount of capital, brains, intelligence, and speed is going to kill you. And John, just real quick too. So one thing you can do, what a lot of our clients have been doing to get started with us is, they'll do either the buy and hold portfolio with a combination of the boot camp. Okay, so the boot camp, guys, is going to teach you your foundation that you're going to need. Okay, you're going to need to understand how the financial system operates. 99% of retail traders have no clue. Okay, they're trying to follow technical indicators and all this, crap that was created by Wall Street so you could lose money. Okay, instead of actually like going into a hedge fund, learning how the financial system works. Okay, learning how the options market works, but then understanding how to apply certain option strategies in certain market conditions. That seems to be the big disconnect in this industry. So
our TLT call options already up over 10%.
Nice, Jason. Very nice. Okay, yeah, and John, I'll send you a message here with my number. Okay, happy to figure something out.
Kathy, the SLV, let's cover that on our Tuesday update, but because that is for people who have joined the boot camp. But if you do go to the trade alert, it does clearly outline how to follow that. I want to reward people who have rewarded our business, so I don't want to give out the trade right here. Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, let's see here. Any other questions? And but thank you, Kathy. Great question. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Market is dumping here a little bit, and yep, TLT I think just pushed 15% for me as I'm looking at it right now. So I hope you guys are enjoying that position. That was just kind of a nice added bonus we did today. We're looking really good on our SPY put that we put in on Wednesday. But it's just nice. We understand, like so many people, guys I've talked to, I bet you the number of people I talked to this week, the net loss across all clients was probably $10 million. Okay. But it's so nice for us to be able to give out a bonus trade like this just for free, help you guys stop the bleeding a little bit, right? Build some trust with you, and then definitely look forward to working with you, growing your capital in the safest manner possible. Okay.
Hey, Jason, just one quick thing. I know you've been busy, but if you could get us something on filling out that spreadsheet, I'd really appreciate it.
Oh, yes, sir. I will get you a good video on that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, cool. And let's see here. Mark said during the webinar, TLT is up 4% in half an hour. Thanks. Awesome, Mark. Welcome, bud. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Hey, Tony, I see your hand still up. How can we help, bud?
Oh, that was it must have been an oversight.
Oh, okay.
I got my question answered in the chat.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I'll call you after about the upgrade into Pro. Okay.
Okay, I scheduled a coaching call for 5 o'clock. You want to wait till then? That's fine.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, buddy.
Okay, thanks, Tony. All right. Okay, guys. And is anyone out there interested in getting the special offer that we have today? If you are, please raise your hand. Okay, we'll definitely take note. I will reach out to you after we get off the webinar here. And, depending on the size of your account, heck, your TLT put may have already taken care of the cost of our membership. Let's see here. Or, I'm sorry, our TLT call. Terribly sorry about that. Thinking of shorting the market, and that's why we're using the call. Yeah, okay, let's see here. John says, Dean, can I call you after this meeting? Sure. Yep. 4 Eastern will work. Let me, if you scroll up, John, in the chat box, you can actually click on that link and just book the coaching call with me. Okay. Yeah, so just go to the chat box, John, scroll up and just book the coaching call. Happy to jump on the phone with you. Okay. Let's see, here's Sean Kong in there still. Let's see where Sean is. Okay, cool. Yep, thanks for the session, guys. Okay, and Sean, I'm going to go ahead and shoot you that link too, just so you have it. So before you hop off, let me shoot that to you so you can get the special offer for today. Okay, so that's in the chat box. definitely get that taken care of. There's a bunch of content you can jump into today. Start learning about what we offer with the boot camp, so you can get that foundation built. Okay, and there's also some really, really cool extra trades that we're going to do in there as well. And Jason basically has set up video presentations that will show you exactly what you need to do to get to our alpha trades that we put on as well. Okay. Let's see here. Tony said, are you long the 157 call? Yes, Tony, that was the trailer. Jake, can you put that back on the screen real quick? Just so he has it real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay, John. So I'll just call you. Yeah, it sounds like my calendar booked up while we're on the webinar here. Let me just take a look really quick, because sometimes spammers will actually do that too. Hold on one second. So I'll actually have to deny some of those people. Let's see here. Okay, and John, just I'm going to message you my number too. Hey, my pleasure, Sean. We look forward to working with you, bud. There's plenty of content to start at today, so we certainly look forward to helping you. Okay, and John, I'm sending you my cell phone number. Okay, so we'll hook up. I think spammers unfortunately may have hit my calendar and booked it up. But okay, let's see here. John. Okay, cool. I'll try my best, John. I'm going to try to actually just call you as soon as I hop off here. I got 4 people I got to call, but I'm going to call you as soon as I can after. Let's see here. Okay, Pete says send everything to Pete Mindrin. Okay, awesome, Pete, and happy to set up a call with you as well. Okay, and most of these people, it won't take too long. They're really comfortable with their system. A lot of upgrades from annual to lifetime, and then from SPY to Pro. So those will be pretty quick conversations. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, John. Yeah, that works, bud. I'll certainly send that out to you. And let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, Pete. Yeah, unfortunately, bud. Futures are gnarly. Or just they move a little too quick, right? You're going against the computer. You're going against literally the smartest mathematicians and programmers on the planet, and the best computer systems, and they have better access to the market than you do. So it's just one of those things. It's pretty tough. Okay. Okay, Pete, and Pete, I'm actually just going to shoot you the discount for today, but I'll certainly hop on the phone with you later today. But that's our special offer for today, and it's only good for another 3 hours here. So make sure to take advantage of it. Let's see here. Jim Will said, easy way to avoid sending out screens. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Jim, but feel free to go ahead and unmute your microphone. Let me clarify that a little bit. Oh, hit print screen. I see. Okay, cool. Very cool. Okay, yeah, Pete, I understand too, bud. The only time I've ever traded futures actually in my life was back when a macro event hit. I'll never forget, my son was 3 years old. He was sleeping, and I actually I got my approval a couple weeks before that, just because I was kind of skeptical of what was going on in the market, and literally put in a trade. My son started crying. He woke up. I went and checked on him, put him back to bed, looked at my computer. I was up 6,000. I just got out of it as fast as I could. So it was just crazy to see how fast it moves, though. But yeah, I don't want to trade against computers. I know my limits as a human. Let's see here. So, okay. Who else do we have here? Alier, any questions for you? Andy, Anna Vesey, Bud, and so cool that Bud's here in Albuquerque. So feel free, guys, unmute your microphone. Just ask us anything you have as a question under the sun, and certainly get that trade alert in. If you're bleeding on your portfolio, more than likely you're in that scenario. add that, guys. It's going to help you stop some of that bleeding. Okay. And like I said, we're more than likely going to get margin call Monday. Okay. And so you can wake up down another 5, 6, 7, 10% Monday. Okay. So put on that hedge, get it on there, and then you'll get a taste of why we trade so defensively. Okay. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Okay. And I saw Tony, I got your booked appointment there. So very cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh boy, we broke 289, 290. I mean, we're in 289 territory on SPY.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm right at, it's like fluctuating between 15% on the TLT now, Jay.
Nice.
Let's see here. Okay.
That trade could make a couple 100% by the time we close it. So 15% is nothing.
Hey, Vlad, go ahead and unmute your microphone. I see that you said hello. Please feel free to go ahead and unmute it and let us know what's on your mind. Okay, maybe Vlad said, yep, Bud said 257. So I don't think that's correct, but I think you're looking at delayed quote. SPY is currently 289. So yeah, and breaking down, and yeah, Jason, we're right back at the well, real close to it, to the volume control level. So once 280 cracks, guys, good night. Good night. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, he's saying, okay, gotcha. TLT. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah, bud. So yeah, it's pushed up. So yeah, no, I mean, your options are still good for TLT, and bud, what I would recommend for you is, if you do have 40% of your capital freed up, I would still wait to add the actual shares of TLT. Okay. And in the program, we're going to do that next Thursday. So what I'll do, bud, is I'm going to shoot you the discount link. Okay. So that way you can take advantage of the discount we have today. Okay. And look forward to, so you have a couple things you can do right away, right? So you can actually jump in, start digesting our bootcamp content. Okay. You might want to roll out of some of the high risk positions you're in, right? So if you bought anything, guys, longer than 6 months ago, you probably want to sell it right now. Okay. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that because, look, this is probably going to get much worse. Okay. If you're on a position, if you had Apple for 15 years, right, don't sell it. Right. That's stupid. But if you have new money allocated, it's down, guys, get rid of it before it keeps dropping, or at least get your hedge in with that TLT call. Okay. Let's see here, bud. I'm going to shoot you that link so you have it. Okay. So, bud, you do have that link. And let's see here. No, Vlad, we do not. So let's see here. Okay, guys, anyone else? Any last questions from anyone in here? Certainly happy to answer any other questions for you. Yeah, Tesla is getting smoked. Just looking at that. Thank you, Jason, for helping me. I added a little alpha with that position yesterday. Okay. And okay, guys, let's see here. Hey, okay, I think Tony's just hasn't put down his hand yet. Okay, Florence Fred, I think that got through all the questions. Okay, guys, let's see here. And then we have a Samsung Galaxy S7. Who is that? I'm not sure who you are. Please feel free to go ahead and unmute your microphone. Let us know who it is. Okay. Jim Willis said, good insights here, strategic thinking, good session. Bye. Awesome, Jim. Well, enjoy, bud. glad you got into that TLT. It should be pretty darn profitable for you at this point. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. I think we are set to jet. Jason, do you have anything else to close out, bud? Bud asks, should I sell a put on SPY? Jason, I'll let you take that.
Okay, if it's not in the trailer, you shouldn't do it, guys.
Yep. Yep. I just figured it'd be better to hear it from the horse's mouth, bud. Okay. All right, guys. And then real quick, just raise your hand if you do want to lock in that discount. I just want to make sure I got taken care of everyone here. I did kind of have a flurry of people that were sending me messages. So just go ahead and raise your hand if you do want to get access to that discount. And that will go away in 3 hours and will not be offered again.
Okay, we got a question from Tony L. So Tony, are your intentions to follow just the SPY program or the Pro program? Because that'll change my answer.
Well, no, I'll be following the whole program.
Okay, so if you're following the full program, you're going to end up with half your account, 40%, outright owning the TLT, and then you're going to have 40 grand approximately in equities. So you would only buy one TLT call option. But remember, you would also have 40,000 invested into the TLT.
Correct. That was my question. Okay. So you don't have a call per 100 shares of your TLT. You just have in that particular situation.
So yeah, let me answer this again a little differently. If you wanted to only follow our SPY system with 100 grand, oh, this bloody computer. Okay. If you told me I want to follow the Monday, Wednesday, Friday program exclusively with $100,000, then I would tell you buy 3 TLT call options. Now, if you told me I would prefer a more sophisticated portfolio that follows your full system, then I would tell you to put 40% of your capital into TLT and then buy 1 TLT call.
Okay, but if your account's bigger than 100,000, you would just ratio it out, I guess.
Yeah, so we got millionaires. We probably got a good 50 million plus following the system.
Minimum.
And yeah, you just keep multiplying.
Okay, dude. All right, well, I'll talk to you guys at 5 o'clock this afternoon, I guess. I got a coaching call in.
Okay, yeah, I saw that, Tony. Cool. And if I do get through calls before that, I will call you earlier if possible, okay?
No problem.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Okay, and great question, Tony. And so just real quick too, guys, I think this might have been a little bit of a disconnect. So let's say if you guys had a portfolio, let's just say with $500,000, let's make it easy, $300,000. Okay. Let's say right now, you have a mix of different stocks, you have no downside protection. Okay. What you would be doing per $300,000, okay, is you would add 10 of those TLT calls. Okay. Because if you don't have that downside protection, you're going to get hurt. Okay. And instead of getting hurt even more than you are now, okay, you can add that. And that's going to be at least a good protectionary asset. It's basically like a 10% hedge is what it works out to, right, Jay? Okay. Okay. And Andy, I just shot you the link as well. Anna, it's coming to you as well. And guys, just make sure that you take advantage of this. You only have 3 hours to do it. So just make sure we do that. We won't offer it again. This is specifically a stock crash special price for today. Oh, there we go, Jay. We're down. Let's see here. So the my TLT put is now up over 25%. And
the call?
yeah, I keep saying that. Yes, the TLT call is up over 25%. Oh, we just pushed like 35% just there.
So if you're in our pro program, guys, we have just under half of all your money in the TLT. And we didn't just get into this. We got into this the second the coronavirus began spreading exponentially. So our clients have really done very, very well with that call. And you know it's not BS because you get to talk to our clients live every day. That's what's really neat about this program is it's all out in the open, and we have our entire audience every day for a couple hours. So I've never seen an advisory that's anything like what we've put together here.
Yeah, pretty cool. Hey, Jason, you want to pull up the testimonials page real quick too? Just while we're here. And guys, we want you to hear it from our clients too, right? Like, look at this. We have a mountain of testimonials, right? Most of these people were in the webinar today. Scotty was interacting. Scotty, you still here, bud? Let me see if Scotty's still here. He might have jumped off already. Yeah. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, Dean.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good.
Okay. So, hey, Scotty, so let's, what is your honest live opinion of what we're doing for you?
Oh, it's absolutely life-changing. You know, I've been a part of advisories for so long. And one of the things that I appreciate most about this is that I can invest my entire capital. I don't know of any other advisory I've been in where, you know, you get a trade alert, something like that, right? And here's a target buy zone and a target sell price. And you're always on edge. When is that email going to come? Oh, I missed the buy zone. Should I still buy it, even though it's a little high? That's just the typical advisory. And it's completely inappropriate for long-term wealth building. And what you guys do is every day you're available, I have access to you. I get to know your rationale. We're completely protected. And again, I'll go back to number one. I can invest my entire capital in this, know that it's safe, and know that I'm slowly building wealth. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I guess what I'm looking forward to is continuing to be a part of this service and even adding to my capital.
Awesome, Scotty. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate the, the thoughts and the feeling there. Let's see here. Mark wrote, bought 10 TLT and an hour ago up $255 already. Awesome, Mark. Mark, what's your last name, bud? We have a handful of Marks at this point. So, Mark, let me know what your last name is real quick, and feel free to unmute your microphone and interact with this live here.
Yeah. So a lot of people start off with an annual subscription, and then they eventually upgrade to a lifetime deal. And so that it really makes sense to start off small, get confidence. And then once you're really, really committed, then you can just lock in for a lifetime deal.
Yeah. And, like I tell people, guys, let us make you, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000. And then, if it makes sense to go up to lifetime, great. We've done that for many clients. Look forward to doing that with you eventually. It's trying to crack 10 points down on SPY, Jay. It's trying so hard. Okay. Let's see here. Mark says, I was in early with 2 ETH when Mike was selling for Jason. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Okay. And Jay, Tony posted a question here. So what you have missed is a married put on the TLT and long call.
Yep, you nailed it.
Yep.
But the ratio of long calls is relative to our SPY position. And the ratio of put options is relative to our TLT underlying holdings. Does that make sense? So we're using the TLT calls relative to our SPY trades. and we're using the put relative to our underlying TLT position.
Okay, very nice.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, it's really nice to. I miss Mike. He's been having some health issues. But yeah, you've been with us for quite some time. Then that's great.
Yep, Mark is an OG. Very cool. Okay. All right, guys. Any last questions? Just anything at all? You guys want us to look at anything that you have currently? Please feel free to reach out, and certainly, guys, don't forget to lock in that discount. That is a stock crash special today. The market is sold off. God, what are we, 15% here now, Jason? Peak to trough. Well, today's trough, I should say. So yeah, guys, we're running a little special for that. We know you guys are hurting, but hopefully we can give you a solution here. Okay, and hopefully you make quite a bit of money with that TLT call. I certainly have, just in the time we've been sitting here. So, okay, let's see here. Okay, guys. So definitely check the chat boxes really quick, guys. We did send you that link too. So make sure and lock that in before it goes away at 5 Eastern today. Okay, guys. Jason, anything else from you, bud? I think we're all set.
Nope, I'm good. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. But that's.
Oh, you know what? Vlad asked when his trial ends. Ryan, can you check on that real quick, bud? I don't see his email up.
And Vlad, it will also be in every trade alert. It will tell you when your free trial ends.
Hey, Jerry, it's our pleasure, bud. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Oh, it looks like Ken may have a question and has his hand raised.
Oh, cool.
You expire on the 5th, Vlad. Ryan, let's unmute Ken and see if he's got a question. And if anyone else has a question and you would like to speak out loud, just raise your hand. We'll let you out. Go ahead, Ken.
I just wanted to get in on a deal if I could.
Yeah, absolutely. Dean will get a hold of you and get you in there. Are you interested in the pro or the basic?
Basic. At this time, that's all I can afford, I think.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a good place to start. So.
Yeah, and just give me 1 second here, Kenneth. I'll shoot that to you. Give me 1 second, and I'll post it to you in the chat. Okay.
Okay.
So 1 second on that, and I will paste that to you. Okay. And so Kenneth, how's everything going for you, bud? How many shares of SPY do you have?
Tell you the truth, I had to sell it to pay some bills.
Okay. Got it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm sending that link to you right now. So you will be all set.
Let's see. Vlad has a question. Vlad, do you have a mic so we could talk about the different options? Brian, unmute Vlad, if you will. Let's see. So we have 3 basic programs, depending on where you're at. If you have less than 30,000 to invest, you're best off in our buy and hold portfolio that doesn't use options. So it's not the best. Okay. You're not leveraging the option market to help protect your capital. But if you don't have 30 grand, you just can't do the system without that much money because it's all based on lots of 100. That's how the option market works. If you have less than 75,000, but more than 30, then this is your best program. We're just going to trade the SPY. We might protect it with a trade like we did today, and you're going to trade Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're more sophisticated, you understand that it's smart to have half your wealth in the bond market and you have at least 75,000 to invest, then you really want to be in here. And almost all of our members find their way to the pro program eventually, if they have enough capital, because they see sometimes it's easier to make money with the bond market, and sometimes it's easier to make money with the equities market. But when you combine the two, it really gives you a smooth return with low volatility. So depending on how much capital you want to put to work, over 75K, highly recommend this option. Between 30 and 75, highly recommend just trading the SPY with option protection. And if you're starting out and you don't have more than 30,000, unfortunately, you just have no choice. But the buy and hold is a lot better than what you're doing. I can guarantee that. And it's very passive for $9.97. Do you know which option you're interested in, Vlad?
Okay, Vlad. Yeah. Look, I'll send you my number, and we can certainly chat after. Okay. So just save it in your cell phone, Vlad. And my name is Dean Gallagher. Okay. All right. Any last questions, folks, at all? James Goodman, did you have any questions, bud? I think this is the first time I've seen you in here. So I wanted to thank you for joining us here today. And Vlad, look forward to speaking with you. Sue L, did you have any questions? So who's up on that TLT trade? Don't be shy. We want to hear about it. So I know Mark was up $255, he said. Okay, cool. Jason, I think we are good to go, bud.
Well, that was a record turnout. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully we can help you protect that nest egg and safely generate profits for all our existing members. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Sleep like a baby. You've got nothing to worry about. Bud, so follow the Monday, Wednesday, Friday trade alerts for instructions on what to do next.
Yep, exactly. So the members will get the exit trade. The trials more than likely will not.
Yeah, so Bud, we only change our positions at the designated time and day, just like Scott was pointing out. This allows us all to know exactly when to show up to the bat so we can all hit the same ball. We're not having to worry about prices moving and things of that nature. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, you'll get your 3 times a week webinar with the trade alert. And I'll be live to answer your questions so that you have no confusion and you know exactly what to do. But yeah, there'll be no surprises and we won't touch this until Monday.
Yep, exactly. So nothing until Monday, bud. You got it. All right, team. Well, thank you all so much. Appreciate your time and attention here, folks. And with that, Jason, I think we are good to go ahead and close it out. Beautiful, profitable week, and literally the nastiest sell-off in 5 years. Showing some profits here, guys. And I look forward to helping you all do the same.